Oh, no, not yet. What am I doing? I'm getting it wrong, guys. Those ghosties got us again. Trying to do something new, and look what happens. How is everyone? Welcome to Ghost Chat with myself, Anne Rekovich, paranormal investigator, and
Renata Daniel, paranormal investigator, as well.
Psychic medium as well. I'm just your extra large. We are changing things up just a little bit, but first off, we have a huge happy birthday to the Catherine Linda, who turned 30 today. I'm being kind to you. Please remember that when it's my birthday later this year.
Please send love to Catherine. Catherine is one of our most patient and loyal followers. She has been following us for such a long time, and she just supports everything.
And is so kind.
Anything you put up, Catherine's the first one to like it or to subscribe or to whatever. She's there. So please send your love to Catherine Linda.
Yeah, lots of birthday cakes and hearts for her. That would be fabulous. And we're also thinking of all of our people up in Queensland who have a cyclone bearing down on them at the moment. Please stay safe. Remember, we can replace stuff, but we can't replace you. So get out before it's too late. If it's too late, be safe. We're thinking of all of yous. We've got many friends.
Yeah.
Hello, Paranormal Road Trip. How are you? You went to the Valeska axe murderer house, didn't you? Remember correctly? How was it? What was it like?
Maxine, happy birthday to your husband for tomorrow.
Happy birthday to Mr. Maxine. I hope he has a wonderful day.
Have you got some nice things lined up for him?
Anyway, we have changed things up a little bit here in Frightfully Good Land. We decided we're going to stop whinging. You'll all be very pleased to know that, won't you?
No.
And we have been proactive, and we are going to shuffle things up a little bit for you guys, and it means more live content for you. What we are hoping to do is to be on every single Thursday night with some form of content. We're going to only allow the tarot nights to be once a month, and that will be, I think it's the last Thursday of the month will be tarot. And if we get a fifth week, I reckon we should do seance. We'll do glass dowsing readings, just for something different. And we're going to be doing things like tonight is now Ghost Chat. So we've got rid of the paranormal Q&A, which was very wordy and not very sexy sounding. I hope you like our new overlay.
It's kind of the same thing, but we've just called it a different name.
Yeah, and instead of waiting for you guys to ask questions, we are going to present ideas, things that are present in the paranormal at the time, and talk about those. And we're also going to do our paranormal hot seat with Cousin Steve, hopefully Cousin Steve, where we will talk about contentious things that are happening in the paranormal field and have a bit of a yelling match with each other.
There are so many things.
So we'll be doing that. Thanks, lady. Alfred is confused and was too busy doing donuts earlier. I heard that. I thought it was supposed to arrive last night. Then I saw the news saying, no, not yet. Reese, 25th wedding anniversary. You would have got out of jail this year. I know they say that, but you know what? I'm lucky. I've got a good one.
She's done extra time, so she must have committed a crime while she was in jail.
You like them, Leanne? All right. Well, let's get over to here. I'm going to share my screen because we actually came up with a couple of ideas. Where is it? Disappeared on me. Anyway, I'll find that for later and see if I can find the things I'd put up there. So there's one there. I don't know why it's not coming up as something I can show. I'll see if it will come up. Yeah, slides, PDFs, image file. Maybe that's what it comes up in. Nope.
Anyway,
Anywho,
it's just because I'm sitting here because I hate technology.
the technology hates you, aren't we?
Spreading that evil out there. Have you heard the news? If you haven't, then it's weird because this is huge news, and it's news that comes from a lovely pair of Australian ghost hunters that have been around for quite some time.
Happy for them.
Been around for quite some time. Amy and Jared from Amy's Crypt.
Oh, the music's still going. I thought I'd stopped it. Sorry, keep going.
And they have made a huge purchase. So they have literally put money where their mouth is, and they are paying back to the world of the paranormal. And they have bought a place over in the UK called The Cage. And put in the comments if you have heard or not heard of a place that is very, very well known by paranormal ghost hunters in the UK called The Cage. It's in St. Osyth, which is a very, very tiny little township. Apparently really, really cute and wonderful. And the people there have been really, really lovely to Amy and Jared. Let us know if you have heard about The Cage, you have visited The Cage, you know about it or you don't know about it. Let us know in the comments, and I'm going to read you a little bit about the history of The Cage from Higgy Pop, which actually put up some information last time it was trying to be sold. So I think it's been on the market for about 12 years or something. And finally it got sold, and Amy and Jared did a huge announcement, I think it was on Monday, to say that they purchased it, and they did a live. It's still on their page, on their Facebook page. So if you go to their Facebook page, you'll actually be able to see the live of them announcing that they have bought it, and they're sitting in one of the rooms. So it's really, really cool. Now, let me read a little bit about this. So The Cage is in Essex, in a village called St. Osyth, and it is an unassuming 2-bedroom cottage with a dark and sinister past, which has led to ongoing reports of paranormal activity within its walls. Now, the owner, prior to now Amy and Jared, Vanessa Mitchell, bought the house in 2004 when she returned to St. Osyth, her childhood village. She had been aware of the famous historical property as a child and knew what to expect, but she could never have guessed how much harm and upset the house would cause her. Now, Vanessa had her first odd experience on the day she moved in. While unpacking, she saw a dark, shadowy figure and said from that moment on, she knew the house is bad. There's something wrong with this house. The single mum, who for a time lived alone in the house with her baby, added, I knew from the first day something was in the house because it literally presented itself on the very first day I was there. The Cage, which is situated 60 miles from London, oh, that's not far.
No, not at all.
In the heart of rural Essex, earned its nickname due to its historical use as a holding cell for witches in the 16th century.
So the 1500s. And
so the picture that Anne has there is of The Cage, and I'd say it's had a few renos done by the time that photo was taken.
Yeah, well, it's got a tin roof, so I don't think that's from the 1500s. But you can see the little note there that says 1582. But that gets me that it was last used in 1908.
Yes.
Wow.
So the house is one of only 7 similar medieval cages left in the country, and this is the only one with a house attached to it. So in the 16th century, witch trials and accusations ran rampant in Essex, and St. Osyth was chosen to be the location where 12 local women accused of witchcraft were to be locked up in the earliest part of the cottage known as The Cage. This jail was used to hold prisoners accused of witchcraft, including the famous witch by the name of Ursula Kemp. Now, apparently Ursula is buried in the cemetery close there, I think. I heard them say something about it on their live. So Ursula was arrested and accused of witchcraft and for various reasons, including claims that she had placed curses and hexes on locals, causing them to die of various conditions and even preventing beer from brewing. Oh my God, well, that would put you in jail, wouldn't it? Of course, like all witches, Ursula was probably innocent and had no evil intent, but she was ultimately one of 3 women who were found guilty of witchcraft, and she was hanged for her crimes in 1582 and buried in unconsecrated ground.
She can't even say it because it's religious.
That's right.
And that's what it looks like today.
Yes,
John, that's gone very small because we're sharing our screen at the moment. So you can see us off to the side and we're just showing the pictures of the cage. So I think where Amy was streaming from was upstairs where that window is.
Yes.
Now, the thing with that is that it is... because nobody's been living in there for quite some time, they were saying that it needs a lot of repairs, a lot of work done to it. And I am so happy for them. They have been traveling around the world non-stop, creating awesome content. Honest to God, their filming and their editing and their content is top notch. And I really loved it when Amy went with one of the American ladies who was trying to pretend everything was demonic, and Amy's going, no. She held her ground. I was so proud. Anyway, her and Jared have their place to call home, I suppose you could call it. I don't think they can live there, but I don't know if they've got background of English heritage, that they've got dual passports. They might have, I don't know. But there's a lot of renos that have to take place. And I reckon they're going to do a ongoing weekly thing of the renovations too.
I reckon.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I watch those shows. I've been watching one called, I think it's the Pethericks, where they've bought an old convent in France and they've been slowly renovating it and finding hidden rooms and little things tucked away, and they're hearing ghosts walking around the place while they're there, and they're not ghost people at all, they're renovators. So I find it really fascinating watching them uncover what was there originally. So that's what they're going to do.
They said they're still going to travel, they're still going to do their ghost shows. It's going to take quite some time for the place to be renovated. They want to use it as an educational centre to talk about the history of the witches in England and in that area as well. So maybe part of the building will be set up as some sort of a memorial. Amy even mentioned that she may put an altar in for people to come and pay their respects to Ursula and all the other witches that were kept there over the years. But they want it part educational, part museum, and maybe they even hinted at maybe being able to make some money out of it by hiring it out as sort of like a bed and breakfast, an overnighter thing. It would have to literally be for like 2 or 3 people, I reckon, at the max, because it's tiny. It's tiny. But yeah, look, it's something that is a legacy now, that it's just a beautiful thing that they have done. So really, everyone really wish them well in this, because, you know, it's a big thing to take on. I don't even think they really fully understand how much work this is going to be and how much money this is going to take.
Because you have to restore it a certain way because of the heritage listing. It's got to be done true to the times.
Yeah.
But I hope that this is an outstanding thing for them, and I have a good gut feeling it will be. Just watching the renovations, bringing it back to life, and being able to have somewhere that they can study ghostly phenomena, because we did it on the True Hauntings podcast, and I do remember going through the phenomena And there was no reason for these people to lie about what was happening to them. It was quite astounding. So you can listen to the True Hauntings podcast on the cage as well.
It was one of our earlier ones.
We were asked, would we join, are we going to be joining Amy and Jared? We would love that, absolutely. But we know that Alison and Kag have their
connection is a lot deeper.
With them.
Yeah.
So we totally understand that they may not reach out to us because we're quite low on the pecking order.
We're no one.
We're great, but
we're nobody.
But we just wish them all the best because I'm so super excited.
Yeah.
Casey Ann said, "Hello, my partner and I booked tickets to attend one of your tours. So
Yay!
excited!
Come and say hello to us, please.
And
Because people turn up and then they just stand there and they don't say anything and then they leave, and we kind of go.
And then they go, "Oh, it's so great to see you!" Like,
yeah.
And next Wednesday night, we are at the Wyong Milk Factory.
Yeah.
We'll be doing our tarot show live there. So I'm not sure what the state of the tickets are. There was only 11 tickets left last time I checked. So I would get over there and grab them if you were thinking of coming. And I did have a lovely lady, remember the lovely little coffee shop in Garden City?
Yes.
Who recognised us. She said she's going to buy tickets. They're going to come. So that'd be good. And Leanne was talking about the new overlays. Now, I did actually find... Let's see if I can get them back up again. The ones that we were looking at as well. This is one of Renata's favourites, and she's got good taste. That's all I can say. I'm just going to add this, and then I'm going to get up to here, and I'm going to do that. I don't know if that's going to work. I think I've got to stop sharing. Hang on, let me get rid of that. Stop screen sharing. And then you go back to screen sharing. And then we go back to screen sharing. And then we go to... there it is. What do you think of this one? That's not Renata's favourite. Now I'll show you another one.
Are they seeing that one?
Oh, no. There you go. Have a look. So that's number one. Then we go present, share screen, window, and share. And got to get back down to here so I can put it in. That one. And now we'll do Renata's favourite. Get rid of that one. And I go to present, share screen. Look at me go. So good with technology. I know Lisa will like this one. And what? Why is it not showing? Bloody Renata's favourite. It's not going to show.
It's all right. It'll be on.
What?
It'll be on next week. I mean, next time.
Oh, man. All right, I need to fluff it. Let's get rid of that one. And
anyway, Mel's, that's a good idea. To have people submit their own ghost stories and discuss them live. Yes, absolutely. We have been thinking about possibly looking at people's investigations that they put up on YouTube and discussing them live, but that could lead us into a whole lot of trouble.
yeah,
Some people don't like having their things discussed or critiqued or criticised, and so
that's really weird. The one that we love is not showing up.
Never mind.
No, I just find it interesting that one's not showing.
So, yeah, there are really sort of some great ideas that we can sort of pass on. Now, all right. Don't worry about it, Anne.
Let it
go.
No, I can't let it go.
Let
it go. Let it go.
There is another bit of a story that I want to talk about because it's coming up on Netflix, I believe, very, very soon. and it's actually on Netflix called The Devil on Trial. Now, we actually did a podcast episode about this family. I can't remember what the episode is called, but we'll put a link into the YouTube here, and so you can sort of listen to it if you wish. But I'll read you the article. So this comes from Newsweek. And it says, in Netflix's The Devil on Trial, released Tuesday, viewers were introduced to the story of David Glatzel. Now, in 1980, at the age of 11, Glatzel was allegedly possessed by a demon, which was exorcised with the help of famed paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yada, yada, yada.
No, so this is part of the Conjuring universe. And it's the story of The Devil Made Me Do It. If any of you may remember under that title, then you might know. Will you stop? Stop. Leave it. Smacker.
Cool. I can't screenshot it.
Leave it. Don't worry. All right, so there was a movie called The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, released in 2021. And there was a documentary. In the documentary, the three Glatzel brothers were brought together, David, Alan, and Carl, to get their side of the story. Even now, David Glatzel is convinced that he was possessed by a demon as a child. However, his older brother, Carl, has never believed it. Why I'm telling you this is that there is a little piece of information that now has come out while they've been doing this show that kind of really wasn't mentioned beforehand. It's very interesting. Now, in The Devil on Trial, the 57-year-old reveals that while cleaning out his mother, Julie Glatzel's belongings...
Don't pause! Don't pause!
I was just wondering.
Don't pause!
I was wondering where that was going.
He's cleaning out his mother. Okay.
Okay, you get it, right?
Oh dear.
He found evidence that she had been drugging her family with a sleeping aid, Somanex.
Can I get some?
Now, Carl believes that his mother used the drug to control her three sons and their father, sneaking the drug into their food.
Wow.
He also believes that the side effects of Somanex are the real cause of his brother's supposed possession, citing mood swings, weight gain, and hallucinations as side effects of the drug.
I think I've already taken it.
All right. At the end of the day, if everyone's tired and exhausted, guess what? Everyone's going to sleep and rest and sit down. There's no problems, Carl said. But can Somanex really mimic demonic possession? Newsweek asked an expert. Now, the active ingredient of Somanex is something really huge that I can't pronounce, diphenhydramine hydrochloride, which is a sedating antihistamine that can help people fall asleep. It is used to treat short-term sleep issues such as insomnia, along with relieving allergy symptoms. Now, Dr. Rami N. Kayet, the medical director of ICU Health Sleep Medicine Services and a specialist in pulmonology and sleep medicine, says that this thing, Somanex, can cause hallucinations, although the dose has to be very high. Toxicity can occur when a dose that is more than 10 times the dose in over-the-counter pills is used. In these cases, cardiac arrhythmia, delirium, and hallucinations have been reported. So Somanex and other medications containing this are only meant for short-term use. If taken regularly, users can build up a tolerance to the drug, making it less effective. So there is, and he mentions something. Let me just see, because he mentions...
I've got a story to tell about overdosing medication too today.
Yep. Now, he says, my mother wrote down everything. She had OCD, he says in the documentary. It'd be on a piece of paper, a calendar, whatever. She'd write notes down. On one note, it said, well, the family had their medicine tonight and everything was good.
So she was in on it.
She was doing it.
Please, it was father. I obviously wasn't listening.
No, you weren't.
And cleaning
You
out
were
the mother.
too
That's
busy.
right.
You were too busy trying to get that thing up. They looked into the medicine in more
It's
detail and
such a
said
problem, but there's a pill for that now.
they discovered that his mother was putting Sominex into their meals. So she was giving everyone a sedative every night, and it actually reacted with the young boy and gave him hallucinations. And then guess what? Stop it. Ed and Lorraine Warren come in and go, right, we can make some money here. You're possessed.
And that was the first time it had been taken to court with that as a defence, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. We still haven't done that one.
Yes, we
Into
did.
hauntings. We were going to. I don't think we actually ended up doing it.
I think we did.
Must have been memorable. Oh, Dave said, don't get that blue pill stuck in your throat. You'll have a stiff neck.
Oh. I thought that was really fascinating.
Oh.
I don't know. Wasn't that boring, was it?
No, it was good. They were all still pissed themselves laughing about the fact that you'd said him cleaning out the mother. They couldn't hear a word after that because we're all losing it. Let me tell you about medications. Wow. This morning, I came a cropper. I got up this morning and took my normal batch of medication because I've got my little pill pack, and not the chemist pop them out ones. I'm not that bad yet, but I have morning ones and I have night ones. And in the morning, I take my Vyvanse, the ADHD medication. So I got all the pills out. I took the pills, and about an hour later, I went, I don't remember seeing the blue and white pill. And then I went over to check which pills I'd taken. I'd taken my nighttime tablet pills, which has the 4 milligrams of melatonin and a Phenergan to knock me out to go to sleep. Now, normally it doesn't work, right? It just doesn't work. When I've realised I've taken the wrong ones, I've quickly taken my Vyvanse. And then I thought, well, this is going to be interesting because I'm overdosed now because I also took my thyroxine because I have low thyroid, getting a whole medical history here. And I thought I'm going to have the jitters and the shakes from too much thyroid medication. And then I've got the tablets that are making me go to sleep and the Vyvanse, which was making me alert. And do you know what actually happened? I fell asleep. And I reckon I've discovered something. I reckon I have discovered why the people with ADHD can't sleep at night, and there's many of us that have that problem, isn't there? Is because if we are on medication, we are taking the tablets throughout the day. It calms the brain. We can get the work done. It calms the brain. So the Vyvanse calmed my brain, which then allowed the melatonin and the Phenergan to work, and I fell asleep. So what we actually need before we go to sleep is an upper. You need to have the dexamphetamine or the Vyvanse. Our brains don't work the same way that the normal person brains work. Whereas if you have coffee last thing at night, you will be awake all night. She needs 20 coffees to fall asleep. I think I've stumbled on something. What do you reckon, Lisa? I reckon I have. I didn't get the jitters, but as you can see, I'm quite bright and perky tonight. Anyway, what else did we have to have on our list?
The Ireland trip.
Ireland. We're going to Ireland.
Now, we are going to Ireland in September. We have a few spots available on the bus if you would like to come with us. We have 10 days.
I'd wake up shitty.
We have 10 days. Our full itinerary is now done.
Done diddly done.
And it will be taking us all the way down to the bottom of Ireland and then all the way back up to the top to Belfast, where we end up. There will be, of course, places on that trip where we're going to be stopping and doing investigations, we've probably got about four or five investigations that we're going to do.
We've got 3 that we've got to ourselves.
3 that we've got to ourselves.
I think at least 3.
Mm-hmm. And there will be also some daytime activities that we're going to be doing. It is a little bit Titanic themed, so we're going to be stopping at places that are connected with the Titanic in different ways. We're going to be stopping at the place where it actually
in Cove.
In Cove.
COBH. It was one of the stops where people got onto the Titanic. It was the last stop before they left Ireland, if I remember correctly. So there is a cemetery there with some of the people from the Titanic that are buried there, I do believe. And we are going to Spike Island, which is there. We are going to the castle we're staying at the very first night. We stayed there. It's got the fairy forest and pretty pony. Kennedy Castle. So a Kennedy Castle first night. Then we're off to Bunratty for the second night. And then we're off to Cove, staying at the Haunted Commodore Hotel for 2 nights. Then we're going up. We start to head up then, and we are going to Glendalough, where we're staying at the Glendalough Hotel outside the Glendalough Monastic Cemetery settlement, which is full of old gravestones and ruins and towers, and it is the most picturesque, beautiful place in the Wicklow Mountains. Then when we're stopping in at Wicklow Jail, and we're investigating at a convent. Then we head into the Newgrange, and we are going to investigate at Irish Military Museum. Then we head up towards Belfast, where we have got a secret investigation, which we're not telling them where it is or what happened there, because we want to see if they can pick up on it. And then we'll visit the Titanic Museum. We'll be visiting Crumlin Road Jail. So we are jam-packed, and we only have 2 places left for either a twin share or a couple, and that's it, because we're taking 10 people, no more.
Linda asks what dates in September, and Eric, no, that phone number does not work anymore. So
for the radio station?
Yeah.
No, that's all been closed down.
If anyone does have a question, you can post it up in the comments here, and we'll answer.
So it is September 8th to the 17th. We pick you up at Dublin Airport and we drop you off at Dublin Airport. And if you want to know more about that one, head over to Haunted Holidays on Facebook. And there is a pinned post there that has the information on the costing. I think it's 2,948 or 50 euros. We're doing it in the price of the country, because that means we don't get the swings of the currency versus Australia versus euro. So that just made it more sensible to do that. Right, I have a question. Many years ago, I was probably 13 or 14, we went to Richmond Vale for the trains, and as soon as we went into the House Museum, I had the worst splitting headache, possibly migraine, honestly vomit-worthy. Was this some sort of spirit attack or just bad timing, or are you empathetic? Were you picking up psychically on the injuries that would have been brought into the house from mining accidents? Because there is actually a room there that they had set up as a hospital. What do you reckon, guys? What do you reckon, Auntie Nata?
So which place is she talking about? Richmond Vale?
The train museum.
The train museum? Is that the one you're talking about, Stephanie? Yeah. It can be either or, but my suggestion probably is, and the best way to test that out is to leave the room to see if over a minute or so that headache dissipates. If the headache leaves you once you leave the room, then you're obviously picking up on something in that particular room that's affecting you.
So do you pick up on people's emotions when you're around them? They don't need to say a word, you just sort of, or you might feel a pain where they're feeling pain. it was very interesting because Renata and I went away last weekend to Windsor to do a little bit of filming for a new project, and we hadn't spent a lot of time together for a few months because I've been away, and we linked again, and it was hilarious. We were thinking the same things at the same time, and like really random things that had nothing to do where we were and the location we were in. Renata would go to say something. I'd say, "Get out of my mind. Are you serious?" I was thinking exactly the same thing. So, yeah,
It happens.
It's a link.
Pete Island at the moment. Who's asking that?
Hang on, let me get to that. I had it start.
Neurophoenix. Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? Yes, it would. At the moment,
have you got any connections there to let us in?
It is out of bounds. All of these wonderful places are completely out of bounds, and we're not supposed to go there.
I think that one's got asbestos too, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't think they've pulled it apart.
It's being turned into apartments. I know that.
But yeah, it is out of bounds.
There is many places that Renata had got a little pinky toe in the door, and then they slammed it on it. She's starting to lose toes.
Slammed shut. We can't go to these places because of the work that we do. That's the problem. We can't trespass. If we're caught trespassing, then we will lose the ability to actually take you into the places that we work at. It will hurt our insurance, and it will hurt our name. We just can't. We're not like these urban explorers that go off and go into these places, don't bother asking. I was watching a video a couple of days ago about someone going into a particular place in Sydney. They were only stopped by the security guard, and the security guard was going, "Oh, yeah, okay, go and do your filming." And you kind of go, wow, just seems to go and do it. We just can't, because we're running this business, and
it also goes against our belief of the way of doing things. We want to do things the right way. We don't want, this is what's happening in the paranormal field, is we have so many people that are just going rogue and doing whatever they like, and without thinking of the people they are working with, whether it be a private client or a business client, and blabbing the information about what they think they've found. They're not thinking of the effect on the business or the people that they're investigating or supposedly trying to help. They're doing so much damage, and a lot of the places that Renata is trying to get into legitimately have had such bad experience with paranormal investigators doing the wrong thing that they've got their backs up, and rightly so. So the hurdle is getting bigger every freaking year. Every year.
Yep. And
we want to change that.
The thing about it is that Australia doesn't have a lot of places open to people. Everything is like a jewel, and once you've sort of broken the trust with the people that run that particular place, and often it's government as well, which is another big hurdle, then it's done. They just won't let anybody else in. It's done.
Like Dave's been doing a lot of legwork in the background too, trying to find locations, and he's getting the same thing, is that, oh no, we don't want to disrespect the memories of the entities that we hear. We don't disrespect them. We try to tell their story. We tell people, well, they come for the ghosts, they leave with the history. We include the history. So many of these beautiful houses and places are going under because they can't get people there for the history anymore. Nobody's really interested in going and looking at an old house and hearing the history of the way people used to live. But tell them there's a ghost there and they'll be trying to break down a door and get in.
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing. We are trying to change the environment that's there, but there's so few of us that are doing the right thing, and so many that are really...
Now, there was a question a little bit
Sorry,
further.
I know, I get carried away. Yes, we have ethics. I think it was
one
I've
before
starred the questions. John said there was a woman on ABC late night talking about reincarnation. I didn't see that.
Do ghosts have more energy? Was it Leanne? Do ghosts have more energy?
No, some ghosts.
Do some ghosts have more energy than other ghosts? And if so, why? Okay, everyone's got a theory. So remember that. Everyone's got a theory. And at the moment, we have to say that all theories are equal because we don't really know. My theory is that the more you talk about someone who has passed over, the more you keep them here, the more you keep them alive, the more you breathe energy into them. So the more you neglect them, the more you don't talk about them, the more the family disappears and their importance goes.
Pixar cartoon where they kept the photos up on the altar, and every time they did the Day of the Dead, they remembered their relatives, but if the photo came off the altar, they were sort of forgotten. There was nobody there, and they'd fade.
Yeah, and that sort of is what I think goes on. Might not be true, but there's got to be some connection between us living people and those that have passed over. There's got to be a connection that makes it work. So, yeah.
Yeah, put your thoughts in the comments. What do you think happens? I remember going to a conference, an afterlife conference, where there was this man who seemed, it's going to sound horrible, but he seemed very normal, average man who was able to astral travel, and he was able to see people who were about to cross over or were sort of stuck in limbo or something. And he said what it came down to is what they believed or how open they were to believing of what happened on the other side. And if they believed that St. Peter was going to meet them at the pearly gates and make a decision on where they were going to go, then that person would stay stuck in that state, not wanting to move anywhere until they saw St. Peter at the pearly gates. So they'd be stuck in their own limbo until they were able to open up to the idea that there is something different. Those who were open to whatever may happen on the other side seem to move on and be able to navigate the other side more easily. Some people will say you've got to be over there for a little bit of time to learn how to do what you're doing. I really don't know how it works at all. I make shit up. It's really interesting, the theories that are out there. I went to psychic fair, giving readings, doing aura drawings. How do you tell what is bullshit? Such a good question, Dave.
And again, everything is somebody's idea of what is happening or what they may have experienced, and it's been diluted out into, whatever they're teaching. So this is all based on either what people have learnt, what they've heard, what sits well with them. There is no definitive proof of any of this. I saw a lady today who was putting a program up, and she said that she'd been working with the angelic realm for 25 years. Fabulous. Good on her. I've had nothing to do with an angelic realm. I think they stay far away from me. But I can't say...
No angels coming near us.
But I can't say what she is experiencing is not real. I can't, because I can't prove it's not real. It's real for her. So it's very, very hard. I mean, it really boils down to how much are you willing to spend. You want to spend? Buy it. If it works for you, fabulous. If it doesn't, then you've learned it doesn't work for you.
The problem with some of them, Linda, is that they will tell you what you want to hear, therefore it resonates with you. But they should be telling you something that that is not out there publicly, some sort of validating message. Like I have a certain friend on the other side, and if a psychic or a medium mentioned that particular animal that I was associated with him, I would instantly know who it was. It would be very random to them. They would have no idea to even mention that. And they'd be going, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but I'm thinking of this. And I'd go, I know who it is. So they should be able to come up with something that is like, whoa, hang on. How do you know that? That's my little...
Sometimes it's hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's really hard to do, to be spot on all the time that you do readings, every single reading that you do, to be absolutely spot on and come up with these little gems. You know, I guess if you're asking for money, if you're asking for payment, then you should. And that's the dilemma. I think that's why I find it really, really hard.
And sometimes you may actually be giving them a validating piece of information, and they're going, nah, not getting that. Nah, that doesn't resonate. They shut down, which then the reader goes, oh, God, I'm not making a good connection. I'm fucking this up, and they've all shut down. And then the person will go home and go, oh, I know who that was now. And that was too late. The link's gone. So it's hard. I'm just trying to come through here with, Catherine, Lindy, you need a new knee? You need to talk to Rashin. She'll tell you all about the new knee. She's doing really well. So if it's going to get you more mobile for pain for a little while, get onto it, my love. Talking to Titanic, William T. Stead wrote some good books.
I believe, Linda, that William Stead actually wrote a story that was absolutely 100% similar to what happened on the Titanic before the Titanic actually happened. It was a different name that he used.
Oh, wow.
So the ship was called something different, like the White Star or something, I can't remember. But he literally wrote the story of the Titanic before it happened. I think he used to sit in the library. Did he go down with the ship? I cannot remember.
Luke's got a story here for us. I worked in a place that was first an unwed mother's place to stay with the nuns. He didn't give me the correction on that. Then a boarding school for girls, then became a nursing home with beautiful rooms and views. And a lot of the old people would see a little boy before they passed and would describe him exactly the same. I was there for a few years and at first dismissed it, but after the third and fourth person told me and then would pass shortly after, was wondering if this is something you ladies have heard of before. Yes. It's almost like it's a resident spirit or guardian or something of the place, which helps with the transition. I remember when my mother was passing, I was saying to her, look out for Granddad. He's there. He's going to help you cross. There's nobody there to talk them through. No one there to say, look out for someone. So maybe there's a resident that comes.
Yeah.
In the shape of a child. And all those people that say it's the shape of a child, it's a demon. You've been watching too many Stephen King movies. All right. Robin said, I love looking at the history of a place and trying to imagine what life was. The ghosties would just be a bonus. Yeah. Amy, we loved your Tommy Go House tour, history and stories. It was so respectful and insightful. Thank you. For those people who have done a tour with Newcastle Ghost Tours and have really enjoyed it, please go over onto Renata's Facebook page or to Google Reviews and leave a review saying something like that. Because if people are looking at using Renata to run tours and they see that there are respectful comments there, then she might have more of a chance of getting a foot in the door. That would be really appreciated. We're all about the history. There's so much history where I live. Where are you, Teresa? Yes, we do private investigations, but rarely, because Renata can normally talk them through things before we even need to go there. She gets on the phone and she talks and gets to the bottom of things. And most of the time, it's something to do with some sort of anxiety or thing that has happened around them at the time, which is being interpreted in a different way.
People get scared,
yeah,
and then they reach out to try and dismiss it externally rather than something that needs a lot of work internally. That is still affecting everything. It's still affecting the place. We have enough energy within us to affect our environment, but it may not necessarily be something that is a ghost per se.
So Linda
Yes,
said
he died on the ship.
and then he channeled a few books to his daughter.
Oh, there you go.
Wow, that's really cool. Hello, Jeremiah. How you doing? Joanne, it's more than a shame. It's criminal. We want to come live there for a few years. Oh, my God, wouldn't that just be amazing?
Oh.
Have you ever contacted Aboriginal ghosts? We have been involved with the Indigenous, and we normally, if that happens, we work with someone from the community, because we sort of feel it's not our place to interpret their spiritual culture.
Yeah.
Love you guys for that. History is important. Thank you. Supernatural, I believe, has had it pretty right on the mark. The more angry the spirit, the stronger the spirit. Yeah, possibly. Normally, I don't call it anger. I call it frustration. Sometimes they're just so frustrated.
You've got to try and understand why they might be angry, and if they are angry, or like Anne said, we're interpreting it as anger, but it's actually something different. Yeah. So trying to understand what's gone on can give you a lot of insight into why some of these things are happening.
I think the YouTubers that just enter without permission have created an influx of people doing the same thing. Yeah, ruins it for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh boy, does it what? Hello, Claire Elise. How are you?
And then you get sites that are bombed
Thank you
with
for dropping
people,
off coffee to her.
and you get to a point where it's kind of like there's just too many people have been through. It's like a murder scene that has been stomped on 20,000 times by hundreds and hundreds of people. It tends to lose its vibe. Yeah.
Hello, Clinton. How's the driving going? And the side hustle? I like your side hustle. Frustrated with obnoxious investigators and those who are very tired and get their giggles. I can be guilty of that sometimes. There, look, Susie's had 3 knee replacements. She's only got 2, but she's had 3.
Bloody hell, Suze. Where's the 3rd knee?
Jackie the peg diddle-o-doo.
Daisy's got an interesting question. What's the youngest and oldest spirits you've chatted with? Oh, most recently departed. Oh, we try not to talk to the most recently departed.
Relatives get upset.
Yeah.
I remember very early on, before I joined part of a team, you were lurking around on the outside. It was the team you used to work with.
Lurking.
We went out to Caves Beach Cemetery, and they were doing some investigating out there, and I got an EVP from a 15-year-old that was involved in a car accident. So,
ouch.
yeah, I was quite astounded, and yeah, so that was one of my earliest ones. I mean, youngest.
Look, one of the best EVPs I've ever heard was we're in a cemetery, and we always kind of say, don't go to cemeteries. But I mean,
early on you do, because
there's nowhere else. So for a lot of people, it is a place to start. And we were doing a particular cemetery in Sydney, and we were talking about something, and the recorder was left on. And then at one point in time, we've played back after we've been talking, and you hear very clearly someone in a male voice say, "That's bullshit." Talk about being told off. Yeah.
Get Isaac in the hot seat to talk about his experiences.
It's going to actually happen. We're actually going to be doing I don't
know. Is he still talking to us?
A bit of
after the public announcement he made.
What public announcement?
You told me, Claire.
Oh yeah,
Claire. Renata gave me some horrible news the other day. You talked to that husband of yours. Tell him we're going ghost hunting.
Sorry. Look, it's understandable.
I know the ghost hunting shows do not make money. This is the problem. They're not getting enough people watching it, and it costs money to hire the locations.
Unless you have those sexy young babes. What are the
in America?
In America, those two young guys that are
Beavis
doing
and Butthead.
No.
Sam and Colby.
Sam and Colby. Bloody hell.
They're not that young anymore. They're getting on, you know.
But they've got all of that little, you know, all the little girlies following them. And, of course, that makes money.
There you go. She's on our side. She's on our side. It's not always about the money. It's about the satisfaction you give to two old crones. We don't get our jollies any other way these days, Claire.
We don't get out much, Claire. We don't.
She was chasing chickens on the weekend, for duck's sake.
Bring the old lady's bus around and
Clinton's
put us on.
going to watch. He's keen.
Oh, Clinton. Oh, God.
Not Sam and Dean.
See, my 10-year-old likes Sam and Colby. There you go.
Oh, thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Oh, you'll be able to buy a tin of minestrone soup to have for dinner. Bless you.
You need to wear more lycra. Oh, my God.
No. You don't want to see us in lycra. We'll put Isaac in lycra. Let the lunchbox hang out there. Please. What the fuck are you on about? Hello, Buttsman. How are you? Renata told me we're not doing ghost hunts with you anymore. I got very upset. She told me live, and I was a little bit gobsmacked and dumbfounded. Well, you know.
Look, it's a financial thing, Butts. We know it's a financial thing. We weren't bringing in the numbers. We understand.
We had somebody give us free alcohol out the front of Coles the other day. Apparently, we looked that desperate. They walked up to us and said, "Do you drink?" Seriously, this happened. It happened.
Oh my God. Oh.
And the lady said, "Do you drink?" And Renata's going, and I went, "Yes." Don't. I think she's got alcohol in her bag. Shut up and say yes, Renata.
Oh, Lord.
All right. There you go. We're going to do more. He's going to take us on tour with him. Renata's going to be the babysitter. And I'm just going to go and drink with Claire somewhere in the corner. We'll have some nice coffees. I'll take my bottle of wine. We'll go with Shardy in the corner, Claire. How to go off the rails. Bring Claire and the Buttsman on.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Did we have any more questions?
Anyone got any questions for us? Where are we going to next investigate with Claire and Isaac? When are you coming back to Victoria?
When are you inviting us?
We've got an invitation. Our last True Hauntings was about Kapunda, and we have received an invitation. So we're going to go. I'm not sure when. Do you want to come down to Kapunda with us, Claire, Isaac? We'll pay for our own airfares. I'll drive.
Linda's got a story.
Oh.
One I remember really well, clear. I went to Arundel Asylum with a band. We went into the lobotomy room, and Travis, a friend of mine, was cold all of a sudden, so I went and huddled up to him to keep him warm.
Oh, that sounds like a good excuse, Linda.
Not long after, a head came out. Excuse me?
Is this for not cleaning out the mother?
Not long after, a head came out of Travis's and tried to take a chunk out of my face. What?
So like a head went like that?
Oh.
Like Alien?
And tried to bite me. His face was covered in blood. The tour guide mentioned that a surgeon walks a horse covered in blood carrying syringes.
Like Edward Scissorhands. So
That's terrible, Linda. That would have been so scary.
Arundel would be fun to go to.
Yeah, it cost a bomb.
Yeah. You guys match Isaac energy so well.
We haven't been out for a long time, Mels.
Yeah. Not since the res, and that was almost 12 months ago.
Oh, yeah, don't even remind me.
Anyway.
Yeah. Look, we have to finish up.
Yep.
Enough of this chit-chat.
Enough of this shenanigans.
Enough of this ghost chat for one episode. Thank you so very, very much for everyone coming on and joining us. We had really great numbers. We had over 60, which is super.
Shut up, Isaac. We know awesome. You get more.
Like thousands more. Don't rub it in.
That's okay.
But thank you so very, very much, everyone, and for your questions and for your comments and everything else. It's been super, super cool to do this particular show tonight and have the buttses on. Awesome. And everyone else, and happy birthday to Catherine.
And happy wedding anniversary and happy whatever it is that you're going to do tonight with your moisturiser. Anyway, love yous all. See yous on the dark side. Remember,
don't be a dickhead.
Bye, everyone.